Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, live from training camp day number 1. Some people consider this the official start of hockey season. I feel like hockey season starts 3 times. You have the rookie stuff, you have training camp, and then you have the first real game.
Before the rookie face-off showcase tournament slashes, whatever it's called that year, I think rookie camp always sort of felt like a trailer of a movie.
And coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. Where you were like, all right, I get a preview of hockey, but these guys are bad. And like, I remember when I moved here in 2009, and the first one that I went to was the Duchesne, O'Reilly, Barry, Stephen Elliott draft class.
Pretty
and
good.
It was good, right? Like you were like, oh, whoa, like hey, this is actually pretty exciting. But there were only like 15 guys invited.
Yeah.
And now, you have a whole roster of dudes and a couple of extras. And it does feel like because we cover that feels like the start. But then you remember this is the Avs. If you're lucky, there's like one NHLer at any given time.
Yep.
So when they get out there and then you see Nathan MacKinnon go crazy on some poor guy in one of these groups where you're just like, oh, why you got to do him like that, man? And you're like, now hockey has started. Nathan MacKinnon has embarrassed a man, paid to play hockey for a living. We are back.
Yep. And then you get the first preseason game. The first period of that, you're like, all right, now hockey has started. And then the second period, you're like, oh, hockey has not started at all. Yeah.
This is so bad.
Speaking of Nathan MacKinnon going off on a crazy soul, you almost got Jack Drury in trouble.
Why?
Because you start off one of your questions like...
calling him a hockey psycho?
Yeah, and he's looking at you like, I'm not agreeing with you.
He doesn't have to. Everybody knows. This is common knowledge.
You'll get to hear that interview in a little bit. I did actually want to touch on Nathan MacKinnon. Start with our usual...
Be careful, he's a psycho.
I know, he's a hockey psycho. He will rip your heart out on the ice, absolutely. But it gets me...
on the Game 7.
Every single year. Where I show up to training camp, and, it's training camp. My expectations are low.
Yeah.
And McKinnon's out there going maybe 70%. But when you watch Nathan MacKinnon's line go in the drills, and you watch any other line go in the drills, yes, they're on the same ice, but they are not playing the same game.
Well, and especially because the way that so Group 1 today, it started, McKinnon's line is out there, and then Drury, Colton, Olofsson, which is right now your third line.
Yeah.
Is out there, and then you have 2 AHL lines.
Yep.
P.S. I love that they put the small stars together.
Yeah, they were fun. We'll talk about them. Yeah.
I loved it. I was telling Bailey I wanted them to put them out with Behrens and Ashawn so that they could be all tiny guys.
Possible, I know.
All the tiny guys. Anyway, when they go out there, and then you look at Jack Drury and that line, and you're like, wow, we're talking about it today.
Yeah.
Some good stuff there.
Yeah.
And then you see Tynan and Prishchapov's lines go out there, and you're like, okay. And then MacKinnon goes out there, and you're like, how is a human being so good at this?
It's not even just MacKinnon, because he was out there with Necas as well as...
And Nichushkin.
And, you watch the other lines do the drills, and they do the drill fine. They're doing the right things.
Yeah.
And then... MacKinnon and Nichushkin go out there and they hit 3 perfect sauce passes to each other in a row, and you're like, what are we even doing?
Yeah. And then Necas dangles around a guy and sweeps around the net, and then he finds Nichushkin on the back door for a perfect one-timer, and you're just like, oh, I can't believe somebody on Instagram said this was the 17th best team in the NHL this year.
What, the 6th best in the Central?
The Central!
What are we talking about?
It's fine. That would have to...
You forget, man. You spend the off season watching like what the junior summer showcase. Maybe you get a couple of KHL games in, trying to watch like Gulyayev and Nabokov or something. Then you watch the rookie stuff and you're like, yeah, those rookie games were pretty decent.
You're like, dude, Gavin Brindley's going to be a superstar. He outplayed all those first round picks for Utah. And then he gets into this camp and you're like, well, all right, work to do here.
Yeah. There's a lot of different guys to get into before we really dive in. The always grain of salt that you have to take day one of training camp.
It's a funny name for they practiced.
Yep, that's all it is.
They practiced.
They did some extra skating because it's training camp.
Yeah.
That's what happened here today.
Oh, yeah, every time the skating started, I was like, I'm leaving. Let's go to the bathroom, get a drink, wander around, talk to people, say hi. Stare off into the distance, go through an existential crisis, anything but watch that.
It is funny with the extra skating. You see the guys that are getting cooked by the altitude.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Gavin Brindley.
Yes, he was struggling with which they came in right about 9 days ago for the rookie stuff.
Yeah.
So he's right in that window of like, this is when it's the worst.
Yeah, this is when you're like, oh, I think I'm adjusting to it. I am not adjusting to it. No, I'm not there.
Yeah, all right. Should we start with Group 1 then?
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay, so obviously you had the big names in McKinnon, Nichushkin, Natchez. They were better than everyone. I don't think we'll have a ton really to say about them at an event like this. Bednar did say, as we kind of already knew, hey, top six, we're going to play everybody with everybody.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense to pick a line on day one and be like, oh, this is the line.
Yep. What are you using training camp to do then?
Yeah, it does not make any sense. So I like that because it has felt like Arturi Lehkonen, we've called him this, he's the adult.
Yep.
He's the emotional support human for McKinnon a little too frequently. And I think that encourages some of McKinnon's bad habits because he knows that.
Lecky will go dig a puck out for him.
But then you think, okay, so if it's not going to be Lecky, then it's going to be Nichushkin or it's going to be Landeskog. Yeah. It's the same thing.
He's got one no matter what. Yeah.
It's the same thing. They have built-in checks and balances for Nathan McKinnon's worst habits and while also trying to capitalize on all of his best habits.
Love it.
Yeah. And with Nichushkin, I laughed today. He ruined 2 drills.
Yep.
Where he was they were on the defensive side of the drill. He ruined 2 drills by just getting a stick in the way in the neutral zone. And then Bednar blows the whistle and he's like looking at Val like,
come on, man.
can you just work with me?
I know what you can do. I don't need to see you.
And for me, I'm like, I want the hunter back.
Yep.
And that if that is what we're gonna get that guy that is like day one of training camp. It is 9:30 in the morning, and I am disrupting drills because I am hunting pucks this year. I am getting back to those habits.
That's the good stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be the goods this year.
All right, you have that third line. Let me put a pin in that. I want to get to that in a second. But we'll move on. I did want to shout out the Small Stars line because, I think realistically – they're a Colorado Eagles line for most, if not all of the season, and maybe not even a line together. But we talked about in the rookie showcase, look, they have a Sage Weinstein. They have a Cooper Gay. They have potentially a Hank Kempf. They have these
Alex Kanye.
big bruiser, brawler type guys. Mm-hmm. And then you add what ended up being TJ Tynan, Alex Barré-Boulet, and
Daniil
Gushchin, thank you. As 3, small guys, but they were, they're not Nathan McKinnon level dynamic, but probably more dynamic than what you're looking at as that Jack Drury line.
You're looking at 3 quad A players.
Yeah, exactly.
You're looking at 3 guys who have been very productive. I mean, point per game level of productive as AHL players.
Yep.
Similar to the way that they had Tynan and Matthew Phillips together last year.
Yeah.
They have that, but then they added another small star. So I love them together. Like, I don't know that you're taking it too seriously that any of these guys are going to be in the mix for a job right out of camp.
Yeah, probably not.
When injuries get going, like it seems like TJ Tynan just finds his way into an Avs game every once in a while.
He's got the gift.
I selfishly, I want to see him into a game and I want to see him get a goal. He's been called up too many times. He's too talented. Yeah, I want to see him get a goal. But with that line, they were fun, man. Like they were a good time. They are going to be really good in the AHL together. I'm not taking seriously their NHL prospects out of this camp yet.
There's a whole lot of preseason left for that.
We have like 3 weeks to go. Yeah. So this was just day one. I'm not there with that line with the guys on that line yet, but I liked all three of those guys more than most of the guys on the next line. Which
is what I wanted to bring up, because you're talking about, realistically, I think we understood where most of the guys on that third line were coming into this camp.
Yeah. Good AHLers.
There was a question mark about guys like a Prishchapov or a Steinberg of, can they earn the job? Maybe not, but where are they putting themselves on that call-up list? And again, it's day one of training camp. If you're making decisions off of this, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But compared to that line, a Prishchapov, a Steinberg didn't really pop.
I will disagree. Chase Bradley is the guy that I feel like I am always wanting more from Chase Bradley, where you see the speed and you see the smarts and you're like, okay, like, all right, maybe. But they get into any kind of competitive situation, he just disappears.
Yep.
Prishchapov continued kind of his second game at the rookie showcase for me, where I really don't like what he does with the puck. I think he's way too careless with it. Christian Humphreys was the other guy. Christian Humphreys and Matt Steinberg
they had four.
Were interchangeable on the right wing. That's bad news for Matt Steinberg trying to make the team.
Yes.
Because other guys are getting center spots. The center spot is really where the Avs need a guy at the NHL level. I like Steinberg, but Steinberg just is who he is.
Yes.
And that is one thing that the drills and the practice environment is not going to make him pop.
100%.
That's a guy that's going to go in and
when he smashes
right.
A dude,
He draws you into the fight with how he is in game and in practice. He's not going to smoke a teammate, because if he smokes a teammate, that hurts you.
Yeah.
You will stand out, but not. This is not 2005 anymore.
Correct.
Like, you do not do that to your own teammates. We're going to talk about him at some point, I know, but Josh Manson pulls up like 4 or 5 times.
He could have killed some guys if he wanted to.
Josh Manson pulls up on a couple of guys, and you're like, if this is the regular season, Josh Manson might have gotten a penalty because he would have hurt that guy.
Yeah, straight up.
Also, I mean, he's Josh Manson. He loves to hit guys.
It's just
and
who he is.
Yeah, and he would. Instead, it was like light hands, and he was like, "Okay, go about your way, but just know
I could have killed you. Yeah.
Just know the manimal is watching." Yeah, it was. With Steinberg, I like it a lot because he brings that intensity, and that's what he does.
Tough day on the skate for him. Yeah. Lost 2 edges on the skating portion.
The ice was.
I've seen better.
Yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss at times, but I also, when you're hours into these sessions,
it's so chopped up.
Yeah, because they zam the ice and then they play on one side, then they come over here and it's been
however long.
Yeah, 90 minutes since it got zammed or whatever. It's so and then it gets torn up because you have an entire team, a little more than a full roster, just chopping away at it. So. I don't want to speed back the ice or anything. I really don't. It's not. Yeah.
It's just the realities of a practice like this. You let ice sit for 90 minutes. Yeah. What happens?
Yeah, and then 26 guys come out in there. It's how it goes.
Yep.
But I like Steinberg. This first group though, and on defense, there really isn't a lot to talk about.
Taves was Taves, and that's really all there is to say. Yeah.
I just. He's so smart.
Yeah.
And you just watch the little details in his game, some of the drills they were doing, and how some of these AHL guys are very good with the puck. They're elusive. They're quick. And Devon Taves is like, all right, do all that.
Well, I think
I'm still here.
When you compare him to the other defensemen in the group, especially when they're doing the small area 2-on-1 stuff, you watch Taves' stick, and it's always in the right position. Making that pass, you have to make a better play than Taves did to do it, compared to some of the kids here where it's like, I don't know where your stick's going at times in those 2-on-1 drills.
What's our time?
It's about time.
Okay.
All right. You want me to jump in and do that first?
Yeah, just because I want to continue this on the other side.
Yeah, perfect. We'll take our first break of the show here, as we are brought to you by the fantastic folks over at Coors Light. I need a Coors Light after day one of training camp, I'm not going to lie. Might go home and crack a cold one with the Blue Mountains on it to let you know it's ice cold and ready to drink.
Honestly, such a cool innovation.
It is kind of like It's neat.
Yeah. It's not groundbreaking, but it is like a cool little thing. How do you separate yourself? Have a color-changing can.
Especially, like, if you're stupid like me, because you put the beer in the fridge 5 minutes ago, and then go look, and you're like...
Bruto, it's not ready, brother. It's not ready, all right?
Yeah, right. I need that. I'm too dumb. I need someone to tell me when my beer is ready. Of course, Coors is more than just Blue Mountains. It's cold filtered, cold lagered even, and cold packaged to keep it refreshing the whole way through. You can go get it in any liquor store in the country, but you don't even have to get off your couch for Coors Light. You can go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR, and thanks to Instacart, you can get it delivered right to your front door. So make sure you make the most of the times you choose chill with Coors Light. Get that Coors Light at your front door with CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Please celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And once you got your Coors Light, look, you want to find a way to save up a little bit more beer money so you can get that 6-pack of Coors. That's where Monarch Money comes into play.
If you're trying to go from a 6-pack of Coors to a 12-pack
there we
of
go.
Coors,
now we're talking.
Monarch Money helps you do that.
I want to graduate. Give me the 30-rack, all right?
Oh, all right. All right, money bags. All right, big spender.
Look, I don't do the finances, all right?
True.
I got my wife into Monarch Money, and she
Nobody
loves
heard
it
that.
because it's specific. It'll give you every detail that you need. You can figure out where you're spending, not just, okay, I got $8 spent at McDonald's, but you can see all of your fast food expenditures, so you know how much of that you're spending. Yeah, it might not be fun to look at sometimes. But
$8 at McDonald's. What'd you get, a water?
1 6-piece.
Yeah. My goodness, man. I got a solo bagel this morning. It was like $6.
So get Monarch Money, save up a little bit more so you can get the quarter pounder meal or something from McDonald's. Thanks to Monarch Money. They were rated one of the best finance apps out there, including the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, Forbes' best app for couples, and CNBC's top finance tech companies in the world. You can jump in with them today at monarchmoney.com. You can head over there, use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com to get half off in your browser your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, we were talking Devon Taves a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to get to, you were talking about the small area work, because I thought that's where I found some standouts.
I would agree.
The Group 1 defense, primarily, Brent Behrens is really good, dude.
Dude's a monster.
Yeah. He's really good with that stick. He's not going to body you.
Yep.
Not in like I'm going to lay hits. Like, he understands how to play at his size.
He's got that pterodactyl reach, man.
He's like 2 pterodactyls. He's like if the big pterodactyl ate the little pterodactyl and then grew his wings.
And that like made him grow
exactly.
that much.
Like 1.5x wings. It's incredible to watch him out there. And oh my God, those legs are tree trunk.
It's ridiculous.
We talk about, it's such a cliche to say that somebody has tree trunk legs. Those things are thick boys. No wonder the guy is able to play all the games.
Right.
Whatever he is doing, his training regimen is amazing.
Superhero stuff.
It's incredible. And he looked really good. And I'm going to completely overreact to this because this is confirmation bias in action. Because I have been saying over the last few weeks, I think people in Avs Nation,
are underrating him a little bit.
Underrating the Brent Behrens edition. And because I've been watching a lot of video and I was trying to write a film and it was a whole thing.
Yep.
But anyway, I think people have been underrating it a little bit. And day one, I was like, "Whoa, Brent Behrens, I see you, buddy." No, I mean, yeah, Brent Behrens is like chewing up the TJ Tynan 5'9" All-Stars, but there are 5'9" guys in the NHL.
There are not a lot, but some.
That's right. Watch out, Cole Caulfield. But with Behrens, like, it's like that's what you wanted to see, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. You're really good. Great. The guy that stood out to me that I was really impressed with, especially in the small area stuff, Keaton Middleton. Now, this comes with the caveat of the biggest weaknesses in Keaton Middleton's game. Offensive play, skating.
Yep.
So in the small area, they play like it's like quarter ice play.
Yeah, it's like inside this top of the circle.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's not having to make decisions in open ice, and he's not having to there's no transition game, and he's not having to play any offense.
It's just stop the offense again.
Purely defense, played really well, and I was really impressed with it. And he's going one-on-one against Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon's trying to shake him. He can't. We're talking about Brent Burns being a pterodactyl. I don't know what's larger than that, but Keaton Middleton at 6'7", I mean, he's got reach.
Yeah, he should.
He's got reach. I mean, if we put both of our arms out side to side and he put just his arms out,
He'd probably pretty close.
He'd probably cover it.
Yeah. He's big. There's no doubt about it. It's, again, you're in a training camp where Nathan MacKinnon is going maybe 70%.
Of course.
But especially with, it sounds like Sam Girard should probably be ready for opening night.
I believe it's going to be close, but I think he's okay. I think he's on track for it. Blackwood is a little iffier one.
But if you have a Keaton Middleton that you're confident in, hey, Sam Girard needs 2 extra days. Okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
So, good on him.
Well, and especially Sam Malinsky on the left side. This is the first. We'll talk about this at some point. I don't know how much we'll get into it today.
Yeah.
Because like the drills and stuff doesn't really give you much of a look at how he's going to handle that. That has to be in game. But at least you could figure out an alignment if Girard needs a day or 2 off.
Right. All right. The last bit of Group 1 is, of course, the Jack Drury line. Is Jack Drury, Ross Colton, and Victor Olofsson. We'll talk about all of them, but what better way to do it than have Jack Drury talk about himself? We interviewed him today. Let's hear from the Avs 3C. DNVR Avalanche Podcast here at day 1 of training camp. We have Jack Drury joining us at the rink. First of all, Jack, thank you for joining us on the show. We'll dive right in. You're with Ross Colton and Victor Olofsson as a line today. Some new guys out there. What are the vibes day 1 with those guys?
It's a lot of excitement. I think everyone in the room's excited. It was a good practice, good start, good first day, and keep it rolling into tomorrow.
It is there some changes for you. Last year you finish up, you're running the 4th line with Kelly and O'Connor. Kind of a different role for you right now, huh? Different opportunity for you?
Yeah, I think we've got such a deep team right now that no matter who you're playing with, you're going to be with great players. But it was fun playing with Ross and Ole today. I've watched Ole for a few years now across the league, and he's got an incredible shot, really talented scorer. And then Ross can kind of do everything. Hard worker, really power forward with scoring ability. So both really good players.
I always think that that Colton's the power in his game gets overstated or gets lost in the shuffle a little bit because you're looking at, we all love box score stats, and I think that some of his power and some of that aggression that he plays with gets lost in it. How much does it help a line when you have a guy like that can kind of just do everything?
It's huge. I think, he's a workhorse, and when you've got a guy that can retrieve pucks, create a lot of chaos, and put pressure on the opposing team's D, it opens up a lot of space for you. And then on top of all that, he's got tremendous skill and, a great shot, and hit a couple sweet goals today, so it was fun to see. Yeah,
between Colton and Olofsson firing off one-timers, it was like, okay, this is kind of a plum spot for you. You can distribute freely to 2 guys that are just going to be trigger-happy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, opportunity for you. Are you excited about it? You get an opportunity to show a little bit more and play a little bit less of a defensive role?
Yeah, I think, I have certain parts of my game that aren't going to go away, but I know I can be a lot better offensively, and I think, whatever role I'm in, I know I can contribute a little more and be better than I was last year. So for me, it's just about kind of being ready every single day and proving a little bit every day. And I can say it all I want, but I got to show that I've got that extra ability and be ready for the start of the season.
We're talking about training camp because obviously it's day 1, but I want to go back a little bit. The trade last year, was it a shock to you? Did you see it coming that there might be something coming down the pipe, or was it totally blindsided?
No, it was a shock. I think I wasn't expecting it, but really fortunate it happened and feel very lucky that I got to come to such a great organization. Yeah,
I imagine there are a lot of teams that you could go to when you get the call and it's Colorado. Is it okay? I can live with that.
Yeah, it's an exciting feeling. I think a team that's been incredibly successful the last few years, obviously won a Stanley Cup and some of the best players in the world on the team, so you know what the goal is going to be, and that's a fun thing to be a part of.
What was it like coming into the Avalanche locker room and kind of getting ingratiated into the culture in Denver?
I think the leaders made it really easy, so it wasn't too difficult at all. And then I think it's cool to see how committed this team is, the work ethic, the focus, the things away from the rink guys are willing to do to try to get the extra edge. So that was something that was really exciting for me to see, and it's been fun to be a part of.
Do you have any tips for Behrens coming over from Carolina as well, making the jump to the Avs?
He does not need any tips from me. He's been doing it long enough, and
fair enough.
He's probably the one guy that he can match anything anyone here's doing.
What was it? Nathan MacKinnon, nut job. You know, like he is a total hockey psycho, right? Delightful to watch from afar. What is it like getting to see it up close every single day, every shift, every practice? A guy that's that intense and he's so driven.
It's incredible. I think there's a reason he's one of the best players in the world. I think in practice you see him do some things and it's shocking and it's cool to see. And I think you try to learn from it a little bit and pick up some little aspects. But yeah, I think, it's most people probably don't realize how much he puts in away from the rink to be how good he is. And I think it's physical, it's recovery, but I think he's probably way smarter than most people realize. He's got a really good brain on him. Mentally, he's working on whatever he can, reading whatever he can, and I think that was something that I was most impressed with when I came over here. I think his intelligence and smarts off the ice, and from a sports psychology standpoint, is pretty crazy too.
It's not something that we talk a whole lot about. It's easy to talk about, this guy's playing with this guy and this is what he's good at, but the sports psychology part of it I think is really underrated when guys like us go on YouTube every day and just talk about what you guys do on the ice.
Yeah, I think, personally in my career I've known, when you play with confidence versus not confidence, it can seem like two different players out there. So it's an important thing to focus on, and I think something that as an individual you have to take responsibility for and try to do, because no one else can do it for you. So it falls on you, and I think there's a lot of guys on this team that do an incredible job of it, and for me coming here, it was something I was able to learn from them, and it's helped me a lot.
Kind of tangentially related to sports psychology, how tough was the loss to Dallas?
Yeah, it was crushing. I think, it was probably the toughest loss in my life. Really painful. But, that's part of sports. I think it took a while, and it still stinks today, and it's going to probably stink for the rest of my life and our lives, but you move forward and you use it as motivation. I think I've watched sports for a long time, and not just hockey, a lot of different sports, and you see a lot of stories of people, the failures lead the successes. So you got to learn from it, and I think it's going to be really motivating to start this season.
Well, and the Avalanche themselves went through a really painful loss in 2021, and they talked a lot over the summer and coming into training camp in the next season, and then they go on to win the Stanley Cup the next year. Have there been some of those types of conversations in the locker room of, okay, we don't want to live in that moment, but we want to learn from it and grow from it?
Yeah, I think that's, anytime you don't finish the season on top, you look at what you can improve on. And I think the message from the staff was, it's the start of the new year, and we got a healthier team. We're really happy with our goaltending and the depth we have. So I think it's going to be motivating for us to start the year. Like you said, it's a new season, but I think that's going to be a little extra fire and drive for everyone.
Yeah, it's from where we sit, it's a devastating loss, but then training camp opens up and you're like, it's a lifetime ago. And you look at the team that has been built. How good do you really feel about the group that you guys are going into the season with?
Incredibly good. I think to start with, you got two of the best players in the world. You got your captain back, an incredible leader, and then I think we got a lot of depth behind him. I think, that the staff did a great job building a team that can win, and now it's kind of up to the players to execute, gel as a team, and come up with the wins.
You mentioned having Landy back. You didn't get to play with him before the postseason. He was just a guy that was like around the building, almost like a mythical figure of sorts. Now that he is in the building every day and he's on the ice and he's just part of the team again, what is that like for you? Well, I mean, just getting to experience this for the first time.
It's awesome. I think he drives the culture of the team, and he's just a good person. It starts with that, and he's really committed to being a leader. It's not something he takes lightly. It's something he puts a lot of effort into. It's not just show up at the rink and be a captain. He's thinking about it all day and, commits his life to it. So I think that's the type of captain you want, and an easy guy to lead and follow.
Obviously, you get a full year at the Avalanche organization as opposed to getting traded mid-season. With the Avs systems, not all that dissimilar from Carolina's, but are there any adjustments you made to be ready for this year with Colorado?
Yeah, I think, I did quite a bit of video work this summer, just staying on top of it, and it's definitely a little bit more comfortable coming in, having all the systems known and getting to reinforce them as opposed to just kind of trying to figure it out game by game. So it's definitely a little bit different, and it's something as a professional you got to be prepared for and be able to adapt to, but I think it's an exciting style we play, and it's one that benefits us as individuals, as players, than us as a team. So it's a good style for us.
Played for two pretty popular coaches. How do Bednar and Rod the Bod compare?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. Both incredible coaches. Roddy's probably less intense than he seems like on the bench, but phenomenal person, great human being, great hockey mind. And then Bedsy's unbelievable. I think the calmness he brings to the bench, it's incredible. I've never had a coach that calm in my life, and it helps in the stressful moments. And then X's and O's, he's incredibly smart and detailed. I think, behind the scenes, I don't know how much people know, but gosh, his details are unbelievable, and I think that's what's allowed this team to be so successful the last 5 to 7 years, whatever it's been.
How different is that preparation in Colorado? I'm not trying to say anything negative about Carolina, obviously, just getting to Colorado. What does that preparation day-to-day look like?
Yeah, I think, both are successful organizations, so there's some similarities, but definitely some differences. I think it's really a full staff effort here. I think, video coach, Brett does a great job preparing us, Bedsy, giving us the information we need, and then all the assistant coaches are really good at kind of ironing out the details with you, making sure have everything locked down. So I think it's a full effort, and then again, the leaders too do a great job making sure everyone's on the same page, and it's what you want in an organization. You
mentioned how calm Bednar is. Again, from our corner of the sports world, there are always people that want him to show more fire, that want him to yell at a ref, that want him to, scream at somebody, to bench a guy for a game because he makes a mistake. What does it do for you as a player to have that kind of cool, calm, and collected mentality back there?
Yeah, I think, he knows his team. I think we already have intense personalities that when we're down, I think we know it. It's not like we're playing bad in a game and everyone's like, oh, I'm playing great. Just keep doing what we're doing. Like, trust me, we're mad at each other and ourselves. So I think when you have that, it can kind of smooth things out, and that's really when you're going to climb out of a hole or come out of a tough situation, that's what you need. And, I can't really speak enough about how good of a coach he is.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Let's pay ourselves a few bills here. Colorado, it's game time. And if you're a real one, being a fan isn't just about what goes down on the field. It's tailgates at sunrise, smack talk all week, and showing up rain, shine, or snow. At Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers, we're proud to stand with fans across Colorado treating more adult cancer than anyone else in the state. Because fighting for each other is what great teams and loyal fans like you do, no matter the opponent. Rocky Mountain Cancer Center is the official sponsor of Denver sports fans. Head on over to RockyMountainCancerCenters.com to learn more. Again, Rocky Mountain Cancer Center is the official sponsor of Denver sports fans at RockyMountainCancerCenters.com. Once you're taking care of that, make sure you're also getting yourself athletic, or probably not yourself. Maybe your kids. Kids listen to this show, maybe.
It's a lot more kid-friendly than it used to be.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Whatever you are, get your kids in with the Gold Crown Foundation. Not just basketball, though they do have a great basketball league. They have volleyball, they have girls flag football, a bunch of other leagues as well, and they have a bunch of different levels, divisions for 4th through 8th grade teams. I played it when I was a kid. I was in the bad team. I was in the open club league because I wasn't any good, but they have the elite club league. Nice. They have feeder teams at gold, silver, and bronze levels. Tons of options all over the place when it comes to Gold Crown, and they even offer opportunities for scholarships for kids too. So it's a great program if you haven't been a part of it. It's an awesome time. You can learn more and sign up by scanning the QR code on screen right now or visiting thegoldcrownfoundation.com today. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast.
Rudo, do you wish you were more athletic?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's not a hard question for me to answer.
For normies, this is an easy meme. For athletes, this is offensive. Oh, yeah, Simone Biles was mad.
That third line, Jack Drury, Ross Colton, Victor Olofsson.
Yeah.
Drury, obviously the one here, it kind of feels like the opportunity is there. Bednar talked on Media Day about him having the inside line to that 3C job.
Yeah.
It seems like it's his job to lose. I'll put it to you that way.
It absolutely is. And it was something I asked Jack in that interview about was, hey, you're a playmaker. You've got two shooters around you.
Yeah.
Now, Colton is not, what's interesting, they're not the same kind.
Yeah, Olofsson is like a true sniper.
Yeah. We were, 5 minutes into the first session?
And he just lasers
one. He lasered one, and I turned to you, and I was like, who was that? And then it skates over, and Oh, it's Victor Olofsson.
Makes sense.
All right, I get it. Yeah, of course it was. What am I doing? It's early in the morning. And he is, because if you go through Jack Drury's microstats and you see what has he been doing well offensively, he drives play pretty well, but he does it, he creates for his line mates.
Distribution.
Yes, just thank you. Distribution is exactly his MO so far. And when you're playing on a fourth line, when you're playing with Parker Kelly and Logan O'Connor,
You're distributing to guys who don't finish.
You're distributing to a couple of 10-goal players.
Yeah.
And that's obviously those are both valuable role players for you. But when you're talking about Ross Colton has a 20-goal season, Victor Olofsson has a 20-goal season in their careers.
Yep.
Ross Colton scores remarkably 18 goals a year.
Machine-like.
Yeah. Victor Olofsson, I think, had 15 goals in 56 games last year, somewhere in that
Something
range.
like that, yeah.
You're talking, if he is able to, if this line sticks together and they're able to handle the defensive stuff, and it can't be all Jack Drury that does that, because that's a concern with this trio. If he's able to distribute in the same way, it's not hard to imagine. All right, Jack Drury's on his way to a 35-point year.
Yep.
Victor Olofsson and Ross Colton are both guys that have a good opportunity here to get between 15 and 20 goals reasonably. And with Olofsson, you are, okay, maybe there's some power play time, but Jack Drury, we're not talking about, it's going to be 5v5 production. And that is what the Avalanche are really hoping to see, is that step forward. And Jack Drury, he downplayed it with us a little bit. He was like, oh, there's, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. Great. But this is opportunity, and it is a contract year for him. Now, he's an RFA next year, but look, Parker Kelly just got $1.7 million.
Yeah. You can get yourself paid a little bit.
Every single bottom six guy in the NHL is going, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, that's good. I mean, really, it was the Yakov-Trenin deal that should have gotten everybody acting like that. But
not wrong.
If Jack Drury goes out and he has a 35-point season, this is not a $2 million player anymore. You're looking at 3.5. Because he kills penalties, he wins a lot of faceoffs, and he's good defensively.
Yep.
As long as those things hold and the production goes up and he gels with those two guys, the Avalanche have a dangerous third line that can contribute in more ways than just defensive stopper.
If you're really on the hopium, there's a non-zero chance. And a lot of things would have to go right, but there is a non-zero chance that the Avs' two third-line wings are both 2020 guys.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair hope.
Yeah,
and I that's not even best case scenario.
Right.
Best case scenario is one of them has a 25 season.
I'm not. I know I'm already hoping too far, so I'm not trying to go to that level. But
depth scoring in Colorado has been hard to come by when we're talking about multiple guys might have 40-point seasons.
Whoa!
All right. But, yeah, it's not an unrealistic ask. And with Drury, he's not a good shooter. He's not much of a goal scorer. Yeah. I would not expect it. For him, I'm give me 10 to 15.
Yeah. Look, if you give me 10-25, good.
10-25 from Jack Drury is money.
Yep.
That
should be the target.
Sign me up for that right now.
Yep. I will say, again, training camp, day one, don't overthink it. In that small game stuff, Colton and Olofsson were clicking a little bit.
They did click.
It looked good.
With Olofsson, there were a couple, as soon as he had to play defense, there were a couple of reads that he made where he was caught cheating. And I'm like, what are you cheating for? You're not playing offense. You're not going down the ice. Why are you in this environment?
There's
what
just
are you
no
doing?
reason.
Yeah, I'm like, but that's who he is. It's hardwired.
Yep, that's who he's going to be.
You are who you are in life.
Yep.
And I feel better about Olofsson because I've been really kind of
you were the downer on him for sure, yeah.
And a lot of it is we're going to get into games and we're going to see him stay on the perimeter. He's not very physical defensively. I'm worried that Vegas did a lot of sheltering of his play style, but I want to give him I want him to succeed. I want to see him grow and develop that side of his game.
Yep.
If he does, that's a good player, and he probably gets security next year. This is the Evan Rodriguez story all over again. Has one good year in a good environment. Okay, what's going on here? Yep. Comes to Colorado. If he's able to do a second good year, he's gonna get paid.
Someone will give him a real deal.
He will get a multi-year deal next offseason, and so he's got a lot on the line here. And he'll be a meaningful part of a team that's going to win the Stanley Cup this season.
You heard it here first.
Don't hold me to that.
We can't. If he gets traded, I'm going to be mad at you. All right.
Depends on what he gets traded for.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Is it Mason McTavish?
Sign me up.
You're right. That's a good deal.
I think anyone else did you want to touch on in that first group? I think that pretty much wraps it up.
No, I think that first group is pretty well-worn territory here.
Before we get into the second group, we are partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters of America.
Yes.
Awesome foundation. Go donate to them. There's something in the sidebar you can donate, or there's a link down in the description where you can go to their website to donate. You can also become a big for some of the kids. It's a huge win for everybody, these organizations.
Let's be real. There's a lot of companies that partner with charitable organizations, nonprofits and stuff where you have a very reasonable, where's the money going? What's this going toward? Big Brothers Big Sisters is one of those things that has been around for a long time because of the positive impact that it makes, the difference that it makes in young people's lives.
Yep.
If I was still here, I would actually strongly consider being a big because I am full of life and wisdom and I have gone through those things to impart it onto the youth of the world. But I am a lobster roll eating East Coaster now.
Yeah, you're like a real East Coaster now.
Yeah,
you're so petty about it.
I'm getting there, dude. It started with me referring to the New York Atlas as my hometown team yesterday. Whatever. It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
God, time flies.
Yeah, so if you were thinking of giving us a super chat or something like that this month instead, maybe give it to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
100%. Don't super chat us. Give it to them instead because they can. Not that we can't use it, but that we have that partnership with them, and we really want to push that and sell the merits of that organization.
Yep.
And Chicago's beating us right now, so don't let Chicago beat us.
Yeah. Where's the competitive spirit? You're gonna let other lesser cities pretend cities.
I ranked every portion of their hockey team in the D tier, and now they don't give them this talking point over me.
Yeah, we don't want to give them any ground. We cede no ground to them.
None. Absolutely none. All right, moving on to Group 2 on the day. I think there was a lot more action for me in Group 2, but maybe it's just because I felt busier at the time because we were also interviewing Jack.
Yeah.
But you start out at the top. You have the Landeskog and Nelson Lehkonen line. To me, just fun to see.
Do it. Get hype. Get hype.
Like, I want to believe the playoffs. I think they could really be that dominant as a second line in the NHL for the entire season.
They swap Nichushkin for Lehkonen, and you're like, and?
What's changed?
Let me ask you,
Okay.
before we get into what that line actually did today.
Yeah.
Would you consider putting Victor Olofsson there?
When they're trailing.
Okay. All right. Honestly, fair enough. Strategically, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're protecting a lead, no.
Right.
Fair enough. That's great answer, honestly. No, they were electric. They cooled off a little bit towards the end.
But they came out hot as hell.
But for the record, if you're following the DNVR Avalanche Twitter account, and P.S., obviously you should be, but I was not the one who tweeted.
That was me.
I will not get excited about Gabe Landeskog a bunch of times, but you should.
Yep.
He looks great. I remarked it about him at Media Day yesterday. He looks like just an absolute unit. Looks like he's in great shape. Looked like he was feeling it.
Looks like a monster. He wasn't even breaking a sweat on the skating portion.
Oh my gosh, man! I mean, he looks like he has been in rehab for 3 years, where he's, just working his way through it, and like
those new ligaments are.
Steel. He's like, I'm ready. So it's only optimism right now about that line. And one of those little slip passes that Brock Nelson made to Lecky today. That was one where you were just like, okay. I'm trying not to get hyped about all this, but how do you not? They look good and instant chemistry. Nelson and Landeskog especially look like they are clicking. And it's not a huge surprise given what Nelson, the role and the type of guys that Nelson succeeded with in New York. You give him a Landeskog,
it's
going to go well.
The thing about Landeskog with Nelson, I know we talked about this years ago on this podcast, but Landy is very quietly a really competent passer.
Yeah.
In the sense of you take a shooter like Brock Nelson and Landeskog is putting the puck. It's not a fancy pass, but he puts it right in the wheelhouse every single time, and Nelson can just start unloading.
It's a flat puck, center blade.
Yep.
It's exactly what you want to see. And funny enough, today, didn't even get to see it that much.
Yeah, not a ton of it.
It was mostly Nelson creating for those two.
Yep. Which he's the center, so there's got to be some of that.
Right. Not his strength, the distribution, not his strength overall. Like, you want him scoring goals, but we've said this before. I don't think I care.
If puck go net, good.
Gabe Landeskog could have 50 and Brock Nelson could have 10 for all I care.
If they're doing it together.
But if you get 60 out of them,
Yep.
if you get 60 out of those two guys,
you're sitting pretty.
You're competing for the President's Trophy, most likely.
That is what I picked in my vlog, so maybe that's what I need. You keep it rolling here.
Yeah, let's get to this next line because I think this is where I really am most interested.
Kiviranta, Kelly, Bardakov.
I kept forgetting Kiviranta was the third guy on that line.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, Kivy, right.
He had one or two nice shots on the
Yeah,
day,
I just kept...
Yeah.
Because I'm focused so much on Bardakov.
I think we were all locked in on Bardakov.
Yeah.
Just him being on this line, we kind of assumed he had the inside track to that 4C job, at least to start the year.
Yeah.
Being on this line more or less confirms that.
Yeah, it's a I dare you to lose this job situation for Zakhar Bardakov right now, and I'll tell you, after one day, he didn't lose it.
He was solid today.
Yeah.
All of those things that we know, not just Jared Bednar, but all head coaches love when you're talking about a guy who's going to play in the bottom six.
Yes.
Hey, put your head down, work hard, go into the muck, do that type of drills.
Yeah.
And they're drills, and they're going 70%, and the physicality is toned down to the bottom. But you can still see that he's going to bring that energy to his game.
I mean, Jason Megna had an appointment with the cold tub because he put his head down and Bardakov just ran him over.
Yep.
He didn't blow him up or anything, but Megna wasn't quite as locked in as he should have been.
Yep.
Bardakov just trucked over him and then kept on going. He plays with that power. Yep. And I think it's my first time, it's any of our first times really seeing him live in a competitive situation.
Unless you guys were in Russia.
Do not tell me Captain Skate. Stop. In a more competitive situation, because training camp is like a step up from that, right?
Yeah, every step is...
It gets a little tougher, yeah.
Look, Captain Skates are guys staying loose and
Yeah.
getting the feel back
Right.
for sure, but that's not a real... You're not gaining a whole lot from that other than shaking off the rust.
Absolutely. With Bardakov, we were in the locker room. I asked, does he speak English? No. Fascinating
It's a
development.
hard no, yeah.
It was fascinating because the answer was such an emphatic no, and then you see him out on the ice, doesn't shut up. So is he just shouting Russian at everybody?
Look, Suka Blatt will get you a long way, all right?
Because he's talking to Bednar after almost every drill, or one of the other coaches is pulling him aside. What are they saying? If there's a strong language barrier there, as we were told, because we wanted to interview him and be like, hey, how was your day? And it wasn't like you might be able to get by. It was like not a chance.
I mean...
So I'm curious because he's very active.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
He was animated on the ice. He's talking to teammates. He's pointing. He's making hand motions. And I'm like, okay. I mean, is this how the world functioned before we all had AI communicating for us? And those headphones that translate things on the fly. Are they all wearing them? Is he wearing them?
I mean,
I don't really know, but it was an interesting development. But what you had to the tools, the traits, the sizes. Obviously, hey, we knew his listed size is good. Great, he looks big. He played with some physicality, and he's a much better skater than I was expecting. I had watched a couple of his KHL games, and I thought his skating looks fine.
Yeah.
Not really good, not really bad, but he was on his toes a lot, and I like that. Really got after it. He seems full of energy and really ready to go.
Yep. Agreed.
I want to give a quick shout out. Kyle Keefe made a great point. If the team is not expecting him to be a part of this, he's not playing in the golf tournament or in the charity golf event.
That's true. Yeah.
They are expecting him to be a part of this at least until LOC comes back.
Yep.
So we've kind of talked about we think it's his job to lose for a month.
We'll see from there.
It has been one whole day of meaningful practice. but it's what you wanted to see. It's another checked box.
Yep.
And every box that you check means you're not getting behind. You want to check that box every day and stay on pace. Boom, I made the team. It's really that simple. It's a straight line.
Yeah.
But today was a really encouraging day for Bardakov. The rest of that line, you know who those guys are. You do not care.
There's nothing to say there, right?
You do not care. Although I will say, Parker Kelly put a couple of pucks in the net today where I was like, all right, Parker, like what is about you playing on the wing where all of a sudden you're like fun again?
It was interesting. Jared Bednar in his presser even said, look, we played Kelly at center last year, and we like him, and that's fine, but you look at what he did at wing, and we like that a lot more.
And anybody, you didn't need analytics. You don't need to be a long-time watcher of the game. If you just watched one game of Parker Kelly at center and one game of Parker Kelly at wing, you'd go, are you sure it's the same dude?
Yeah, fair enough.
It was just such a stark contrast in effectiveness.
Yep.
And funny enough, you listen to Jared Bednar's presser from today. He talks about why that is in relation to Ross Colton. Because
true.
Ross Colton is another guy that is going to be in the 3C conversation. We're hoping that Jack Drury just does well with it.
Yep.
And there's no conversation. But if need be, it gets overlooked by Avs fans, but Ross Colton had a 40-point season as the third-line center 2 years ago.
In Colorado.
With Miles Wood and Logan O'Connor on his wings.
Yep.
And he put up 40 points.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty encouraging, and you look at his underlines and you're going, okay, all of this is good.
Yep.
So with Colton, it's not a bad fallback option, but putting him on the wing, again, you see he gets to tap into a little bit more of the raw aggression, I guess we'll call it. He gets after it a little bit better. Yep. And that facet of his game, the forechecking and the physicality, it pops a lot more because it's harder to do as center.
Yep.
So applies to certainly Ross Colton, but also Parker Kelly. Keeping them both at wing for right now would be an ideal outcome. And having Jack Drury and Zakhar Bardakov just
fit in.
Yeah. We're not worried about them, you know?
Yep.
All right, we're not even talking about this anymore. Jack Roslovic, who?
Bum.
I mean, he doesn't have a job.
There's only room for one Jack on this team, all right?
That's right. And there's two.
Yeah.
Jack Ashawn is technically still here.
Well, you know.
He won't be.
I don't think
he's not really sticking.
Don't think he makes the opening night roster. I'll put it to you that way.
Same.
And you kind of get into that with the rest of this forward core. You have the AHL line with this group is Felleber, Magna, Brindley. Again, this is not just the realities of where they were coming into this camp. Brindley was always destined to start the year with the Eagles.
If you are diehard and subscribe to the site and in true sicko mode, and you go and read the story that I wrote last night, I said, who's the guy that's going to surprise?
Yep.
And I picked Gavin Brindley, which is, it's only a surprise in that, like, we've hyped him up. We talked him up. He had a really good rookie showcase game, but he's not really fighting for an NHL job right now because there's not a spot for him at the moment.
Unless he suddenly learns how to play center.
Right. But his try hard, that work rate, all of the things that we have talked about as positives for Brindley were on display today. And
I agree with that.
I think that it is going to be harder. Buddy, you need to get into the lab and you need to practice some one-timers. A couple of really good scoring chances.
Whiffs. Yeah.
Right on through him. He's more playmaker than goal scorer. It's true. You will not confuse him with Cole Caulfield. Weird that Caulfield has been mentioned twice on the show. I did not intend for that. You will not confuse him. That it's not what he does. He is a hard worker that is going to get the puck back, and he's going to create for the guys around him. We saw a lot of that today. We saw a lot of that feistiness. He got into open ice multiple times. This is a guy I am keeping an eye on for when there's a wing injury, and especially if it is a top 9 wing job.
Yeah, a lot more likely in that scenario.
If Parker Kelly gets hurt,
you're not replacing it with
if Kiviranta gets hurt, like you can have like the Ivan, Matt Steinberg, like guys that can slot into that role appropriately, who have a little bit of NHL experience you're a little comfortable with. Okay, great. That's fine. But if, any of the, pick a top 9 wing. If one of those guys gets hurt, Val Nichushkin misses 30 games every year.
Yep.
if one of those guys gets hurt, let's be real, when one of those guys gets hurt, this is the kind of performance from Gavin Brindley. If he's able to keep this up through camp and it translates into preseason games, he's going to put himself on the map.
And I hope that's the way it goes. I do think there are some realities of watching him here as opposed to the rookie stuff where I'm not worried about the pace. I'm not worried about the effort, but
not at all.
The way he played in the rookie games, a lot more free. There's a lot more looseness to that than what he's going to have to be able to play to get through some of the big bodies, some of the realities of an NHL caliber lineup against him.
Yes, defensively, he's not going to be able to cheat to the puck a little bit as often as he does. He's going to need to stick to the structure a little bit more. Part of that is going to be he's still adjusting. He's still learning how to be a pro. He's still, he's got like 50 some odd games in pro hockey.
Yep.
Like, there's still a young pup here. So there is going to be development time, and we have never had it confused that we think this guy's making the roster.
No, not for opening night. If things go great, like you said, December, January.
Right, that's really, like, you want to see him, and this is him building momentum towards that kind of a season, towards a top 6 job in the HL. It's just now occurring to me. Gavin Brindley, TJ Tynan, Alex Barré-Boulet, and then the other guy who I've completely forgotten. Thank you, Daniil Gushchin.
I forgot him earlier.
Poor Goose. That's 4 guys who are 5'9" or shorter on that Eagles roster. So I guess Brindley's going to have to make the ads.
If he has to, I mean.
Exactly. Or Goose. That'd be fun, too. But I really think this was the type of performance that you want to see, because he did stand out from a lot of those guys in that, like, depth forward, like glom, the glob of guys. Ty Felber, I didn't notice much. Cooper Gay, I did not think had a very good day. Ivan, I thought was solid. And Jason Poland.
Poland was the one that stood out to me of those bottom 6 guys.
Jason Poland. Did he make a nice pass to Ivan? Ivan gets the goal, right?
Yep.
The play is made by Jason Poland.
100%. It's, where does Jason Poland really sit on this list? It's hard to gauge right now.
Yeah.
But a guy that, if he has a good camp, if he has a good preseason game or two, can put himself, pick your spot in the call-up list.
Where's Eric to be the Jason Poland advocate?
Yeah,
right. He loved him some Jason Poland, but
true.
he all the things that we have liked about Poland over the last couple of years and thought maybe we saw a little bit of today. Yep. The willingness to throw the body, the offensive skill that he does possess.
Yep.
It's just a solid hockey player, not a sexy one. Like you're not ever going to see like a big highlight out of him.
As with every player in the history of time, as head coaches will tell you, it's about the consistency.
Yeah.
Can he bring that every single day of training camp, every single day of preseason, every single day of the regular season, whether he's in the AHL or the NHL?
Yep.
Can he find it on a consistent basis? Do want to get into the defense here, but someone in the chat was asking about Sean Behrens. It was a tough day for Behrens, not in the sense that he played poorly, but they said, guess what, Sean? You're healthy. You get to go against Nathan MacKinnon every single drill.
He did have a couple of shifts in the more competitive parts, because practice is broken into like 2 parts.
Yeah.
Where they do a lot of like basic
drills and
stuff,
then game situation,
and then they get progressively more competitive as the practice goes on. Guess where he was best?
The competitive
part. Because when you give Sean Behrens a chance to compete,
he will.
His hockey IQ and his competitiveness are 2 things. It's strange to me, both Brindley and Behrens, 2 undersized small stars.
Yep.
Their best attributes are their hockey IQ and their competitiveness. Their work rate is really high.
Yep.
And that is how you are going to get NHLers out of guys that
100%.
size. And otherwise, you're going to end up with the TJ Tynans, Daniil Gushchins, like the quad A guys. They have some NHL traits. And with Behrens, he was competing. He worked hard. Similar to Brindley, like, you just want to see him play a bit.
Real games.
Yeah, and just stay healthy and get some action. He no pro games at the moment.
Yep.
So, no pro season under his belt, I should say. I thought it was fine. I didn't really jump off a ton to me. There were a couple of nice plays, though, in the defensive end. And it all started with he's willing to go and get a puck and quality reads.
Yep.
Those are the things that you can consistently rely on Sean Behrens to do well.
Things he's going to have to do. And if he can manage that against MacKinnon and co., you know what? You can find something there.
Yes.
All right, Group 2's defense. You did see Cale Makar. He's Cale Makar. I don't know that we need to say anything about that.
Just the way that he glides on the ice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, is he even touching the ice?
No, he's floating above it.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in like a hockey Jesus, like he's,
No, I know.
you know?
I know. It just looks
Walks
like
on water,
it's
but
so
just-
easy for him, yeah.
'Cause everybody else out there is so clearly mortal and human. And then the way that he just drifts through the ice and all of a sudden he's by 4 guys and you're like, what is going? He's special, man.
We are headed into overtime, so make sure the conversation continues online at thednvr.com with us. Beyond Behrens, one, I don't know that I really would have expected anything else, but I love Josh Manson today.
Me too.
He was awesome. Some of those drills, he's the defenseman going up against the invite kids. And is that a fair fight? No, but you watch him just completely gobble these kids up.
Oh, Josh Manson really excelled defending Mark Sendin.
Yeah, shocker, right?
Like, okay, good,
yeah, he should.
good.
But you can see even, you were talking about he didn't kill anybody today.
Yeah.
But
Held up on a couple of guys that put themselves in some vulnerable spots.
But that physical element of his game that stands out, especially in the Avs D-core, is you even see it at something like this.
Oh, yeah. There were multiple times where you're like, you can just see him holding back from just mauling somebody in front of the net.
Yeah.
Where he starts to get hands on him, starts to move them, and then they start to push back a little bit, and he's like, no. This isn't going to go well for you, little fella.
You're going
Don't
over
do this.
here. Yeah.
Don't do this. Yeah.
So, honestly, that was really good to see.
Yeah.
Manson's thing is always going to be, can he not be too injured? But
Yeah, it's funny. The Josh Manson conversation, if he's healthy and he stays out of the penalty box, he's pretty good.
Yep.
He's got a little more variance in his game than you would like, but overall, and with the addition of Brent Burns, he should be getting more of like a third pairing role, which I think will help him a lot.
Yep, loosen things up there. The other NHL roster guy for sure on this group was Sam Malinsky.
Yeah.
There were a couple of nice drills. I think, especially early on, I felt like he was looking good.
Yeah.
And then I, was just paying attention to the other things, to be honest with you.
Yeah. This is and Bednar talks about it in his presser today. If you haven't seen it, our YouTube channel should have it.
It is up on our YouTube channel.
He mentions it. You need to see it in games.
Yep.
This isn't a drill thing. This is how is he going to handle playing the game on the left side.
Yep.
I don't really care how he handles the drill.
It just
Doesn't
not
matter.
The same.
Yeah. Even if he's a total clown show over there to start with, if he gets into a game and he makes good decisions and he can execute, and
Fine.
Just don't look like you're on the moon, buddy.
Yep. Which, if you do,
Yeah. Keith Middleton's coming for that job.
Yeah, maybe. The other defensemen in this group, Gagne, Kempf, Weinstein, and Kelly.
This is a really good example of why the Rookie Showcase is fun, because I had totally been like, I want to see more of Connor Kelly.
Same.
I did not remember watching him one single second of today. He might have done great. I do not remember.
Can't say that I noticed him.
Yeah.
Noticed Weinstein a little bit.
Yeah, in the bad way.
Yeah.
Gagne, the same thing. I noticed I'm worried about his feet, but I think he does a lot of things well. And I wrote about this. Again, if you're a diehard, you should definitely have already read this. If you're not, go become one so that you can read these things in the future.
You could do that. You could also become a supporters club member.
That's
Go
also
watch my vlog.
That's also great. Yeah. With Gagne, I think there's a lot of good there, but I am mostly worried about the feet and the offensive limitations. I think I can live with, because that's
He's
that
a third
archetype.
pairing role anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's the archetype that you're like, okay, Hank Kemp, Sage Weinstein, Gagne, Alex Gagne, like, yes.
Yep.
They're all going to have that problem.
Yep.
But I think I like where he is, the decisions that he makes, and the I wish he was just more physical. At 6'5", I want him to be kind of a hammer.
Yeah.
Sage Weinstein's like 6 foot, and he's a hammer.
Yeah.
And then my guy Hank Kemp is in between them, and I think he's the best of all three.
I will
But I didn't
say,
notice him today.
like, there are defensemen that get by with bad feet. Connor Timmins.
Yeah, you have to be really smart, and
Yeah.
he's good with a puck.
Yep. So there are avenues there
Shout out,
if the feet are struggling a little bit.
Yeah, Ryan Graves.
Yeah, totally. Maybe that's a more apt comparison than Timmins for Gagne, to be honest.
Hockey smarts.
Yeah. So you can get there, but especially in the Colorado Avalanche system, bad feet becomes even harder to fit in.
Yep. So, I mean, look at it. It has taken Keaton Middleton years.
Yep.
To become their 7th defenseman.
Yep.
Years of like developing and getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and he's their 7th. They just signed Gagne to an ELC. Like, these guys have some time. You're not giving up on any of them. But today was a good example of like, yeah, your depth is intriguing over the next couple of years. If you get into it right now, you don't feel very good on the back end.
Yep. It's not something I'm too worried about because if the Avs feel they need to make moves, they've proven that they will do so.
I also think that there's a good chance that a waiver claim is coming. John Ludwig type.
They've played the waiver game almost every season.
You're hoping that you get more Patrick Nemeth than John Ludwig out of it, but yes, the similar
Patrick Nemeth the first time.
Yeah, obviously the waiver claim Patrick Nemeth. Yes, definitely. Funny, the waiver claim went better than the trade.
It sure did.
Sports are hard.
Dude, I don't wish they were easier. That's what makes them great.
It's
hard, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I had from day one.
Definitely, yeah.
So I guess we're going to wrap this thing up. We appreciate all y'all hanging out with us. We are live through the rest of the weekend here at training camp, so tune in. I don't know if I can spoil it. We've got some other pretty cool interviews coming too. So be sure to tune it in here. Keep it to the DNVR. Go watch all the other interviews, the Bednar one. We have a great interview with Brent Behrens up on the YouTube right now too. So lots of cool content coming your way. This has been the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, and we will talk to you on the next one.
We all silly like the mayor.